Welcome to Redvee TV's Instant Fan Reaction, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2020 season, as we reflect on St Helens' 12-10 defeat to the Salford Red Devils this evening at Emerald Headingley. Unfortunately, you're going to have to put up with a little bit of a monologue, as Kev Pender is still recovering from illness. Kev Cunningham is in Greece. Peter Elder was going to join us, but can't get his sound working. I think everybody's trying to avoid me. So here we go. Okay, we discussed on the previous show yesterday the potential lineups for this evening's game. We knew we were going to have a young squad, and we were thrown a couple of curveballs before kickoff, with a couple more of the youngsters thrown on into the team for a little bit of a baptism of fire. There we go. That was the team news that we came out with. Matty Costello at fullback, Nico Roselli, Ben Davis, Tom Nisbet on the wing, Wellesby Dodd on the halves, as we discussed. But Alex Walmsley, after getting that 2-game ban today, he may have missed out this evening. I feel Kyle Amor may have played. But obviously, with the news that he's going to be missing for the next 2 games, there was no reason not to play him this evening. So we threw him in, and I thought he led us well, as did James Graham. Don Peyru, I thought showed up really, really well, considering he's probably fell out a little bit out of favour and not in that first choice 13. So he's done himself no harm moving forward. And it was obviously his great play early on that got us on the break and allowed Josh Eaves to dive over. And for me, out of the youngsters, I thought Josh Eaves was the pick of them tonight. I thought he was absolutely tremendous. He put us on the front foot. He gave us that change of pace. And obviously, in the next couple of years, James Roby, once he retires, will be relying on the next batch up. And obviously, Aaron Smith is probably firmly established now. But Josh Eaves is a change of pace with him. The future is bright for us in the hooker position. Obviously, getting into that 6-0 lead, we extended it through a couple of penalties. And I thought we did really, really well. The error on the stroke of half time from Don probably just needed to take a little bit more time to play the ball, and we would have gone in 10-0 up. But it gave Salford a foothold in the game, with Paulie going over, probably sheer weight, getting him over the line and the velocity behind it. But 10-6, we were still good value, I thought, at the half time. And I have to say, I think we've discussed on this that some of these games now we're all losing a little bit of interest. But that brought it back properly for me this evening. You felt invested in it. I felt as nervous watching that as I've done watching some grand finals. I was watching the clock in the corner, just ticking towards 80, and you were just wishing the time away. We obviously had a little bit of bad luck when Tom Nisbet probably should have scored out wide. You can see what he's trying to do. He's just trying to get down low, slide over in wet conditions. And he probably found the only dry spot on the pitch and just didn't slide, did he? And the ball's bobbled out. And 999 times out of 1,000, he crosses there and we go on and win that game. But do you know what? These things happen. And then we got that little bit of bad luck at the end. I think Nico Roselli tried to shake off about 5 tackles. The ball ended up squeaking out. And then on the following set, Christian Inu goes and scores in that corner before booting from the touchline. We probably didn't deserve to lose it, but Salford stuck in there and got the job done in the end. But I have to say how proud I was watching that tonight. I thought we were just absolutely tremendous, and the future's really bright. Joe Batchelor showed up well at prop as well. Showed that he's an option at times. Lewis Dodd got good minutes under his belt in the halves. I felt his kicking game towards the end of the game could have been maybe a little bit better, but again, he'll learn from that. They just didn't see. Maybe we should have been looking to find touch just to slow it down a little bit. But Dan Sargentson for Salford was tremendous all night. But then the last minutes of the game, last couple of seconds, Josh Sim goes down that left-hand side, and I really, really thought we were going to be having a little bit of a bounce up and down in our living rooms. I found myself slamming the table in front of me in frustration because I really, really thought we were going to do it. But those are the breaks. We've rested most of our squad for Friday. We obviously need to go out on Friday now, win that game, and it'll be quite a productive week. Right, if we get on to some of your tweets, seems nobody else wants to talk to me tonight. Jamie Pinder says we were unlucky. Kieras cost us. He thought Dodd and Wellesby were poor, but Eves was outstanding. Payru hot and cold, but proud of it performance overall. John Aberton, amazing performance by the young lads, but Payru was good, followed by Batchelor, shame for Nisbet. Smudge, can't be upset at the effort from the young lads. They'll be hating more than us. Heads up, you did us proud. Yeah. And Wayne Haselden is also gutted, but proud of the effort. We had chances to win it, but learn from that. Again, as long as we beat Wigan, it's a productive week. I probably nicked your words because I've already read it earlier. Neil Connolly, name me another team who would have fielded so many youngsters and come that close to winning. Yeah, fair point. And again, we were playing essentially a Salford first team. And we could have won that game. That's been no doubt. We had enough opportunities. Rugby League fan, great effort, should have won, but lose on Friday and we've potentially thrown the league leaders' shield down the drain in the space of a week. You're assuming there that Wigan are going to go on and win all their games, which I don't see. Crutchy, learn more from a loss than a win. Hats off to the young lads. Dan Ledderborough, totally agree. Young ones did absolutely brilliant. We lack more experience on the field. My opinion, Wolf put necessary pressure on the young pack. Future looks good though, wife. I'm not sure I agree with that one. We had some big names still in there. Alex Walmsley and James Green leading them. I thought Jake Wingfield did well, as did Foster when he came on also. John Cooper said it was an incredible performance. The future on show and a future what it's going to be. Stuart Ross says the youngest can be proud of the lesson that will be learned, but that has cost us a match. Unbelievable how this game's ended. The Tomsham have totally forgotten they played against a three-quarter academy team. Salford appeared to be well beat as well. What do we expect? The Saints had criticised the effort tonight, but some really basic mistakes have let Salford in ultimately. A tough video session required to get the learning through to the lads. I think they'll probably know themselves where they can improve. Several heartbreaking for the young lads. What a game they played. The future is bright. Joe Williams also happy. And CJ, the future's bright. The future Saints. AJ thought we should have won. Had a good few chances. Phil Leavesley, like Josh Eves, looks like a belter. I like him jumping out in 9. Kingston upon Thames. You don't get that posh up here. Stephen Hyde was proud of the debutants, as was Pippo Potamus. John Kelly, a bit of sickener in the end. But the future is again bright. John Hill, you can't knock it tonight. He was impressed with Foster and Batchelor. And the last word from the tweets is Kev Pender was gutted for the boys there. The call like today said that has cost us, but he thought Eves and Foster went really well and great learning experience from the young lads. I think everybody's rounded us up quite well there. Now we must talk about the potential playoff situation. Jenna Brooks said she was going to update us at the end of the game, and she updated us to tell us on Sky Sports, live and exclusively, that no decision has been made, but all options on the table. For me, I don't get it at all. How can you change the structure at this point late in the season? We've got 4 games left. They've said this weekend's game against Wigan isn't going to be affected. But then we've got 3 games left. So why are we looking at extending a playoff series from a semi and a final? How many teams are you going to let into playoffs? There's only 11 in the table to begin with. When you look at the league table, in 6th place, you've got Hull FC, who've won 8 out of 16. And then below that, Huddersfield, who've won less than half their games. Same for Castleford and Salford. These teams don't deserve to be in a playoff series. And do you know what? If Super League have backed themselves into a corner by saying you need to play 15 games to qualify for the semi-final, I'm afraid that is it. If Catalan don't reach that stage, then let the next team below in. But you risk extending the playoff series. And then what happens if one of those teams gets COVID cases and they have to pull out? It makes a mockery of the sport. I keep hearing it briefed that Saints, Wigan, Warrington are all, Saints and Wigan are interested in this. I don't see why we would be at this point. Maybe earlier on with the amount of games coming up, but we're playing this period now, Friday, Monday, Friday. They're the big games out of the way. For me, this has got to come from from the other side, who are most likely to benefit from an extended playoff series? You have to look at the likes of Leeds in 5th, Hull FC in 6th, who could find themselves sneaking in undeservedly into a playoff series. For me, it cannot be allowed to happen. The whole sport is a mockery. How do you explain to anybody outside the sport that you've decided to change the rules that we've all been playing towards since the start of August now, with a couple of games left, and give somebody a chance of winning the title? It's absolutely shambolic. The sport is going to make itself look like a laughingstock. So for me, you've made the rules, they're the rules, and that's what we should be playing out until the end of the year. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on it in the comments below. But this could be a whole episode on its own when we can get a few people on board. But yeah, a loss. The first one since the season resumption, only the 4th one of the year. But we're still riding out at the top of the table. If we go out there and with a full strength team, obviously minus Alex Walmsley on Friday, and get the job done against Wigan, then essentially top spot, you would assume, should be secure, given the way we've been playing. Plenty of good experience for those young lads tonight. If we get that top spot secure, maybe you look at sending a few of them to Catalan and giving them a couple of days in the sunshine while they're over there as well. But yeah, my man of the match this evening, I thought Josh Eaves was the pick. I thought he was really, really good. Didn't look out of place in the first team whatsoever. And I'm sure he's done himself a world of good in potentially getting more opportunities in the future. Again, let us know your man of the match below. Your thoughts on the Super League playoff debacle. And we will catch you probably on Thursday for another Redvee preview show as we look ahead to the derby against Wigan. It's not really real when we're not there, is it? But hey ho. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we will catch you at the end of the week.